Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, in today's video, we're actually going to do something really fun and really special. We're going to take a look at the person on your mind and what they have in their heart for you, what their thoughts are towards you, what their feelings are towards you. So, to start with, we're going to look at an energy read for you and your person. And we can use that as confirmation for if you've picked the right pile. And then we'll move into what the energy between the two of you is. We'll look at their thoughts for you, their feelings for you, their future actions for you. And then we'll answer a question that you may have regarding this person. Also, this candle is apple and cinnamon, and it smells absolutely delicious. Okay, so for pile number one, we have this beautiful smoky quartz tower. For pile two, we have what I think is a blue cat's eye heart, but I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure what this guy is. We'll just call him the blue guy. And for pile three, we have a rose quartz tower. So go ahead and pick a pile that calls to you intuitively. All of the timestamps are in the description. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your pile. Hi, pile one, and welcome to your reading. So if you picked this smoky quartz tower, then this is your reading. So I've pre-shuffled and laid out all of your cards here. This was the card you picked, and the way I've laid this out is these cards. We have a tarot and an oracle card to give me your energy. We have a tarot and oracle card to give me your person's energy. Now, these might be swapped around, or you might feel like you resonate with both of these, and that's okay. It just means you and your person are in a very similar energy, or you're mirroring, as the saying goes. So that's confirmation, because I want you to feel like you can relate to at least one of these two piles. If you can't, then maybe this is not your pile. Go ahead and pick a different pile, or maybe there's no answers here that you're seeking today. But the card in the middle, which is the card you picked, is going to be an indicator of what the energy between the two of you is. And regardless of which side is you, we're going to take a look at your person's thoughts towards you, their feelings towards you, and any action that they're about to take towards you. So it doesn't matter which side resonates with you and which with your person. These are all going to be from their perspective. And then we'll get on to the question and we'll shuffle that on camera. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with your energy. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, and we have the Great Severing. Some heavy energy to begin with. Pile one, I feel like if this is you or your person, person A is actually in the process of disengaging from this connection, or at the very least, they're stopping themselves from putting all the incredible amounts of labor that they put into this connection, because the Great Severing says Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So I feel like either there's been so much conflict that you're starting to kind of step away from the relationship, or it's this feeling of I'm done fighting for this. Like, it's clearly not going where I want it to go. So that's your or person A's energy. The other person in this connection is represented by the Ace of Coins in reverse and loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Yeah, I feel like this person is in a very similar energy as well, because the Ace of Coins upright usually talks about someone making an investment, usually in like a very substantial physical way. And so to have it in reverse makes me feel like this person isn't super invested in the connection either. And with loosen your grip, there might be, and I'm going to throw out a trigger warning because this theme might come up repeatedly in the reading, but there might be a sense of addiction or like unhealthy coping mechanisms going on here. And maybe that's prompting you or this person to disengage. But both of you are in a very similar energy of, it feels like each of you has this feeling of, I've invested too much and it's not going to do me any good and it's not going to do the other person any good. So I'm about ready to step away. But the card to represent your connection is the Four of Cups. Interesting. So the Four of Cups is usually all about not seeing an opportunity that is right in front of you. It's about, there's something staring you in the face, but you're completely missing it because you're so caught up in the three other cups in front of you that kind of make you feel almost trapped a little bit. Interesting. So maybe, okay, this could go one of two ways. The connection between the two of you. Maybe there is something better for you out there that is like right there, it's right in front of you. And because of this connection, you're just simply not seeing it. Or there is a solution that neither of you is able to perceive right now. Maybe this doesn't have to be the end. And there is just a way to fix this. But we'll find out more about what they think. So if either of these sides or both of these sides resonated with you, we're going to go ahead and dive into your person's thoughts. So I've pre-shuffled these. We have the World in reverse. And we have the Four of Wands. This is interesting. Okay. So this is heavy, pile one, but I'm hearing that maybe this is a marriage that has broken down. Or alternatively, this relationship, whatever form it may take, this person probably thought that you would end up, together forever, that, it's, you gave them the world or they gave you the world or you gave each other the world. And it's starting to feel like that's just not true anymore. And maybe in severing this tie, they might find a reason to celebrate, or they might find someone who will give them what they think they need right now. Again, this is just thoughts. But is the World a Sagittarius card? Because I'm hearing like Sagittarian, but like dark side, so the escapism, the running away energy, the flight energy. This person feels like they're about ready to just like give them a chance and they'll be out. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from or at least what I think they are thinking. Interesting. It's the Four of Wands is what's tripping me up here, because generally the Four of Wands, well, literally in this imagery, is a wedding, right? It's a marriage card. It kind of symbolizes cause to celebrate. Maybe, and this is oddly specific, but it's shown up, so I have to say it, but maybe this person is marrying someone else, whereas you thought that you might be the one they marry, which, is a possible scenario. But in either case, they feel like neither of you can give each other the world, or so they think. But let's get into their feelings part one, because this is heavy right off the gate. So we have, for their feelings, we have the Two of Wands and Justice in reverse. Okay, so with the Two of Wands, it feels like you're kind of looking forward, or this person feels like they're looking forward to the future and they're looking back at the past, but they're not necessarily trying to ground in the present moment. Again, that Sagittarius escapism energy is showing up quite a bit here, which is very interesting. And we have Justice in reverse. Justice upright is Libra energy. It's a balanced partnership. It's a fairness and equal give and take. And it feels like they don't feel like there was like even compensation between the two of you, which is interesting because this is also a 2. There's like 2 staffs. It also feels like you're very different people, even though you might be in the same energy right now, because this is in context of a relationship that you share. Outside of this relationship, I feel like you are very different people. And so they feel that there is no balance here, that you might never see eye to eye on the big issues. And because of this, you might find that it's just not fair to ask each other to compromise on the big things. And maybe that's what's causing these complications in this relationship. They definitely feel like they deserve justice. And I'm going to tell you now, so do you. You deserve a healthy, balanced relationship that not only fuels your fire, but also gives you that stability and gives you that sense of, I don't have to change who I am in order to be loved by my person. Does that make sense? And they definitely feel that feeling too of, it's too much of a change. It's too much compromise right now. And they just feel the need to step away for a bit. So what are their actions going forward? I'm sorry, I can't put a positive, I feel like I should apologize to you for not being able to put a positive spin on this, but that's just not what we do. You're here for answers, and I'm going to give you what I see. So their actions is Temperance. This is definitely Sagittarius energy. And the Magician in reverse. What's interesting, Pile 1, is that Temperance talks about balance, and so does the Justice card. So in the future, their primary focus is to try and bring balance to your relationship, but a sort of dynamic balance. And that may be by working it out, like the Four of Cups suggests in one way, but it could also be by just walking away and finding someone or something or a situation that brings them that balance. But again, it's very heavy Sagittarius energy. So they might be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising, or they might have a Venus in Sagittarius, which would probably make them like a Scorpio sun or a Capricorn sun. But we have the Magician in reverse. I feel like I want to read the keywords for this. So the Magician in reverse. This is card number 1, by the way. Insecurity, delay, lack of imagination, closed doors, manipulation. Yeah, this person definitely feels a sense of that lack of imagination really stood out to me. It almost feels like their creativity of some sort is stifled from being in this situation. And obviously that's not a read on you whatsoever. It's not your job to, enhance someone's creativity. But as someone who is creative, I can tell you now, a difficult relationship or a difficult situationship can really put you right into, like, smack dab in the middle of a creative block. And maybe that's kind of what they're dealing with right now, and maybe that's leading them to some unhealthy coping mechanisms. But like I said, Pile 1, it's not your job to fuel someone's creativity whatsoever. But maybe their next steps is to try and work to bring balance to themselves, actually. Because do you see how in this card, this character is doing all of this outside of herself, but is focused inwards, is working towards bringing balance for herself. So maybe they're going to have to take some time and just get themselves in order. I'm just trying to see if there's any other messages here. All right, so I'm going to give you a second. Think about a question that you have for them or for how they think about you, just a question regarding the situation. And I'll go ahead and shuffle some cards for you guys. What's the answer to pile number 1's question about that person, please? Thank you. We have Judgment in reverse. Put that there. And we'll get one more card for you, pile 1. What is the answer to pile number 1's question about that person? Thank you. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? And under that, we had Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. Maybe this person is going on a spiritual journey of some sort, inwards, but this Mirror card definitely feels like a big indicator that you are both in the same energy. So what you're feeling, they're feeling, and vice versa. But with Judgment in reverse, I feel like this is divine intervention. I don't know if you believe in divine interventions, but I definitely feel like this is, the universe stepping in and being like, actually, this is just simply not for you. This relationship, this whole situation, it's not for you. You can do so much better And it doesn't even matter if it feels like this is the be all and end all of everything, because it's really not. There's so much better out there for you with this Four of Cups here. And you're being called to simply disengage, whether that be temporarily or permanently. Go inside of yourself and find how you've grown from this relationship and what triggers you've discovered about yourself. Do a little bit of inner work and see what you find. So, part number one, that's your message. It's a little heavy, but I do hope it provided a little bit of clarity and support. If this reading resonated, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram, link down below. I will definitely get on doing more readings for there, but there are a couple already. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your energy and time with me today. Thank you for letting me read for you. Check out another reading in the outro of this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose this blue, anonymous blue guy, then this is your reading. Welcome. So I've laid these cards out in a person A, person B format just for the confirmation bit. So we're going to start with 2 cards to represent your energy and 2 cards to represent your person's energy. And, it could be switched around. It could be that you resonate with both of these, and that just means you're mirroring. But this is purely for confirmation. If you find that you resonate with at least one of these 2 sets of cards, then you are definitely in the right place. This is the card you chose in the middle, and this is going to represent your connection to this person. And down here, we have 2 cards to represent your person's thoughts, 2 for their feelings, and 2 to represent their future actions towards you. Now, it doesn't matter which pile you or your person resonate with. These are all going to be from that perspective. And then towards the end, we will shuffle a couple of cards on camera to answer a question that you may have for this person or about this connection or whatever comes through. So let's dive in. So to represent you or person A, we have the 5 of coins, and we have jump in. Andromedan energy, say yes to change. And for your person or person B, we have the Page of Swords and Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So, for person A, I feel like I do get the sense that this is you, and I feel like you're in a place where you feel almost like you've been left out in the cold for a bit, and whoever this person is feels almost like a breath of fresh air, because do you see how the person on this card is kind of jumping in? Oh, it's not focusing at all whatsoever. Do you see how this person is sort of jumping into like a pool of refreshing water? It almost feels to me that this relationship, this connection, feels to you like jumping in a cold lake on a very warm day. Like there's a sense of, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. It's like a breath of fresh air, which makes sense because person B is represented by the Page of Swords and Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down. So with person B, I feel like there might be a significant age gap here because pages are usually signifiers of youth, and they talk about someone who isn't quite as mature. However, with the Page of Swords, I feel like this person definitely engages your brain and engages you in conversation. That's a big one. Because swords are all about communication. And I feel like this person, they might be a little immature in that conversation, but with Earth pulsing, slow down time and nature, I feel like there might be some wisdom there, but because it is packaged in such an excitable, I'm hearing golden retriever energy, it might feel like this person is just not quite at your level in terms of maturity. However, you do still really, really enjoy a conversation with them because it makes you feel, I'm hearing young again. It makes you feel playful again. I feel like this person makes you giggle. Oh, this is so sweet. So we have a card to represent the energy between the two of you, and that is the Two of Coins in reverse. I feel like, instantly I heard, you don't have to choose anymore. Okay, I feel like in past relationships or connections, whatever this connection might be, you might have had to physically, like you might have had to be the designated balance bringer into, that's confirmation in it. Yeah, I feel like you've had to be the person who constantly made sure everyone was okay and made sure that everyone was safe and happy, and you had to put in all this work. And I feel like you didn't really have the option to just sit back and enjoy, because if you did, then everyone around you would be upset or would be in trouble of some kind. And I feel like with this Two of Coins in reverse, it's almost pushing you over. It's like if you were wearing, say, high heels and someone like tipped you over and you simply fall, but you can't do anything about it. I feel like this person brings you into that chaotic energy, but it almost feels like a good chaos, you know? It's like they turn your life upside down, but that's because you need it to be upside down. I feel like you've been so go, 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 and this person is forcing you to slow down and focus on right now. That is beautiful, pile number 2. Okay, speak of chaos, pile 2. The second I said that, I had a bee come into my room, which makes no sense because the door is shut, the windows are shut, there is no way for it to get in. I don't know how this happened, but it's gone now. So this person definitely feels like a bee got into your room. But like, save the bees, right? So anyway, this person definitely feels like they're thrown into your life. It's like they showed up out of nowhere and just kind of like brought you to life. That's like what I'm hearing, part 2. This is so lovely. Okay, so let's go into your person's thoughts, feelings, and actions towards you. So what are their thoughts towards you? We have the 4 of Coins. Straight away, this person does not want to let you go. You make them feel safe and sheltered. And we have the 9 of Swords. There's definitely anxiety there. Maybe this person has like an anxious attachment style where they feel like, or where they think that, if the boat is rocked, which is so funny because I feel like this is also you, but they think that if the boat is rocked a little bit, that they might lose you, because the 4 of Coins talks about holding on too tightly to what we have. And this person definitely struggles with an anxiety disorder of some sort. Because I'm almost like I'm almost trying to gather my thoughts, but they won't sit down. And this to me feels very familiar because I've struggled with anxiety my whole life. So this to me feels very, very familiar. This feeling of like, there's so much going on, there's so much chaos. Maybe the reason they bring so much movement to your life is because they are quite chaotic by nature. Oh, that's interesting. Pile number 2. So maybe you are the grounding force you need because you are represented by a coins, like a pentacles card. And that is earth energy, right? And so maybe there is that element of you make them feel grounded. You make them feel safe when their mind is going all kinds of crazy. But this definitely feels new, though, so you might not have come across this situation, but they do think that if they were in the midst of an anxiety attack, that you might help them, or you might make them feel grounded and safe and like they're being held. Okay, so what are their feelings for you? This is so sweet, Pearl 2. We have the 8 of Wands and the 10 of Coins in reverse. Okay, so 8 of Wands, I feel like they are, whatever feelings they have for you came in really, really quick. But I do feel like there's a fear that this might not be a traditional relationship. This might not be a, what am I trying to say here? Sorry, I'm just going to take a second to ground really quickly. Okay, so whatever feelings this person developed for you, it happened pretty much overnight, like instantly. They got in conversation with you, that was it, instantly. They had made up their mind about you. But it almost feels like there's some sort of like I'm just going to come out and say it, there's some sort of like a broken home situation involved here. And maybe they have a fear of like, what if that comes back to haunt you both? Or like, what if it never gets to this point of, having a home and hearth and the 2.5 kids and the white picket fence? Maybe that's something they want, and they fear that that might not be a possibility just because it happens so quickly. And maybe that's something that's giving them quite severe anxiety, is this feeling of jumping in. Interesting. Maybe this person comes from a broken home or like a non-traditional family, or they feel like they do. And they feel like they might be bringing that energy into your life and they don't like that, or they feel like they only attract that kind of energy and they definitely don't like that because it's scary, it's unstable. Yeah, I feel like this person is definitely just looking for someone to help them put roots down. Interesting. So let's go ahead and see what action steps they're going to take towards you next, because I'm really curious, because there's a lot of fear over here, but there's also this desire to not let go. So let's have a look. See, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Ace of Coins in reverse. What's interesting, Pile 2, is the Ace of Coins in reverse also came up in the last reading, but it definitely feels like it has a completely different meaning here. With the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it almost feels like they're stepping into the energy of maybe this meeting was not a stroke of luck. Maybe this was a little more divinely guided than that, because the Wheel of Fortune to me feels a little bit like dumb luck, and although initially they may have felt that way, although initially you may have felt that way, that, like I said, it feels like they just kind of like ran into you and were just suddenly in your life out of nowhere. And it may, for the longest time, have just felt like pure luck. I feel like soon they might tell you that maybe this was not just random luck. Maybe that was, that's confirmation again, isn't it? Pile 2, I feel like this person is going to come out and just straight up tell you, like, hey, maybe this wasn't just a random chance meeting. Maybe there's more to you guys than what you may have anticipated going into this. Because with the Ace of Coins in reverse, it almost feels like they're afraid to invest in you until, everything is clear and on paper, which makes sense because Swords energy to me makes me think of like someone who is quite smart about things like this, like make sure all the paperwork is sorted, make sure all the, lines are drawn, dots on your I's and crosses on your T's, that kind of energy. And I feel like before they invest in you, emotionally, I'm hearing, I think they feel the need to have all the answers before, there's declarations of how they feel or whatever. So I think their next step towards you is a conversation where everything is laid out in very clear, solid terms. They tell you their expectations, their fears about this connection, their desires for what they'd like to see this become, things like that. And, have all of that sorted out and make plans is a big one I'm hearing. In fact, it almost, from my perspective right now, it almost feels like I'm receiving this coin. So maybe they're hoping you might bring this up, or you might invest a little more in, not a little more, but a little more concretely in this connection, or like show evidence of some sort. Why am I'm speaking in like legal terms? Maybe someone here is a lawyer, because with like the paperwork and evidence and this and that, definitely some fire, air, and earth sign energy from this person. I feel like you might have some water and earth, though, in your chart. Just because this, like I said, it feels like jumping into a cool lake on a warm day. Interesting. So, how to go ahead and think about a question that you may have either for this person or about this connection or how they feel about you. And let's go ahead and shuffle some cards for you. Okay, what is the answer to pile number 2's question? Thank you. Also, I should mention your cards have been jumping straight out, so I think you're in like pretty solid communication with this person. The 6 of Coins. All right, and a clarifier, please. What's the answer to pile 2's question about this person? There's a lot of coins energy here. We have the Ace, 4, 5, 6, 2, 10. A lot of earth energy. This is very much a solid connection, a substantial one. Okay, one more card, please. What is the answer to pile number 2's question for, about, or involving? the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? This gives me Tower card energy, Pile 2. And I feel like your question is about... Okay, I'm not going to try and guess what your question is, but the answer here definitely has to do with a little bit of generosity, being a little more open, because although the Tower or Tower equivalent cards usually talk about, a complete change in the way of life, which again makes sense in the context of what we've seen so far, it feels like either you or this person need to open up. Maybe both of you need to open up a little more, because with the Six of Coins, that generosity, it feels to me a little more emotional or mental, as opposed to like physically giving someone money, which, by the way, not a healthy relationship if someone expects you to like pay them to hang out with you, whatever. But it feels a little more like they want you to open up, because do you see how in this card this dark tower is kind of splitting open and giving way to these beautiful flowers and this beautiful scenery? It feels like one or both of you has a dark wall around you that you refuse to allow the other person to go through. Maybe it's this person where they feel like they want to have this conversation with you first and make this plan before they're able to open up just completely. Because with the generosity, it feels like in the past they've given and received nothing. And I feel like you are the same, where you've given and received nothing in return. And so maybe the answer here is for one of you to take that step and be vulnerable and express how you feel and what's going on with this connection and where you want to see it go. And then that way it will encourage the other person to do the same as well. I feel like despite your differences, you are very much like two peas in a pod, I'm hearing. Despite the fact that you may not come from the same situation, you may not even come from the same place, but you still have so much solidarity, I'm hearing. There's so much that you share with this person that it's almost like overwhelming to them, just how well you get on. It's almost a little scary. And that's maybe what is giving them this anxiety. So next steps, they're going to have a conversation with you, or, feel free to initiate it yourself. But one of you has to break this wall down so this can move forward, because it could be something so beautiful, Pile 2. This person, they just make you so happy. So that's all I have for you, Pile 2, today. So thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this resonated, please remember to like and subscribe and comment below. Come check out my Instagram, link is down in the description. I just feel so happy right now, Pile 2. So thank you for being here and for sharing your energy with me. Stick around for the outro where I have another reading linked, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile number 3. Hello, welcome to your reading. So if you chose this rose quartz tower, here is your reading. So the way I've arranged this is in a person A, person B format. In my head, I'm thinking this is you and this is your person, but it doesn't have to be. We have 2 cards to represent each of these people's energies, but it doesn't have to be that this is you and this is them. It can be swapped around. It can be, there can be some mirroring in that if you feel like you resonate with both sides, it just means that you're both in very similar energies. The card you picked is right here in the middle, and that's going to tell us about the energy between the two of you. Then we've laid out 2 cards to tell us about your person's thoughts, 2 for their feelings, and 2 for their actions towards you. Now, these don't necessarily have to do with which side you feel is you and which side is them. These are just all from their perspective. And then towards the end, we will shuffle a couple of cards on camera for you to answer a question that you might have. So yeah, without much further ado, let's get started. So with the rose quartz, first of all, I just have to say it, rose quartz always gives me such a happy, light, fluffy energy. So maybe this connection is very, very lighthearted and very innocent and playful. But let's see. So these first 2 cards represent you, potentially. We have the 6 of Cups. And we have, I don't know how to say the name of this card, but longing for home, homesick for the stars. Yeah, pile number 3, I definitely get the feeling that, especially with the 6 of Cups, this might be someone who you've known for a very long time, or they might be a childhood friend or something, because you're coming in as the 6 of Cups, and that's usually looking back to the past or having known someone for so long that when you it's almost like a reunion feeling. So maybe you're in the energy of, oh, I'm homesick for this person. Maybe this person is at a distance from you, or it feels like there's been a distance established between the two of you, and you're in the energy of, oh, take me back, or like, come back to me. You know, you're too far away, that kind of energy. For person B, which I'm assuming is your person, but it could just be you, we have the 2 of Coins in reverse. This is the second time this card has come out today in reverse. Interesting. And I'm sorry, defenseless, righting past wrongs, uprooting. That is interesting, because righting past wrongs, I feel like this is a connection that's either in separation, but it almost feels like a physical separation that could not be avoided. And it feels like this person is in the energy of their life being out of balance, and they want to apologize for this distance between the two of you, but they just simply could not have done anything about it. It feels like they are as much a victim in the situation, a victim of the circumstances, as you are. That's interesting. Maybe you're forced to do long distance. Maybe someone's gone away for school, or someone has gone away for work, or for any reason that doesn't involve like a conscious choice made by either person. The energy between you two is the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah. It feels like the passion that you had, like when you're together, I almost feel like it's like fire. It's like it hits you so hard. It's like the ultimate passionate embrace, you know, and it almost feels like you've been ripped away from each other. There could be like a legal thing. It could be like maybe someone's been deported, or maybe someone's been forced to leave the country due to legal issues or something of that nature. It almost feels like you are meant to be together in the physical, but something has torn you apart. this doesn't feel necessarily like long distance in that you've never met this person. I feel like you've definitely met this person, you've been together, but something has come in and separated you. Doesn't feel like a third party situation. It almost feels like an unforeseen problem, pile 3. And it's very frustrating. And this person, whoever this represents, is definitely in the energy of, I need to apologize, I need to make this right. Whereas this person is in the energy of, I can't stop thinking about all the fun we had, all the happiness we had, and I wish we could go back to that feeling. It's very, very heavy energy, pile 3. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this. But let's take a look at whichever of these is your person. It doesn't matter. Let's just take a look at their thoughts about you or towards you. We have the 2 of Swords and the 7 of Coins. Okay, so I feel like there's a little more clarity. I definitely think this person has had to make a choice. Not in terms of like, oh, the alternative is to just stay as is. But maybe, okay, let me give you an example. Maybe this person had to make a choice between taking a job that will allow them to invest in your future or to build something solid for your relationship, or the alternative was to simply watch life pass them by and lose everything they own and love. And I feel like they're thinking about this choice that they made a lot and wondering how things would have gone if they had chosen differently, but at the same time trying to rationalize the fact that A, there was no choice really. It was like their hand was forced, but also B, this is allowing them to invest in a more concrete future for you and for them. Yeah, this definitely feels like someone who was forced to move away for work or for an education. And it's like they didn't necessarily want to leave you, but they kind of had to. And they think about the impact of this decision on your relationship, and they often think about whether they made the right choice with this 2 of Swords here. What are their feelings for you, pile 3? We have the King of Swords and the 6 of Wands. Oh, pile 3, I feel like I instantly felt this feeling of you have been such a source of support for them and you have celebrated their victory, even if it meant them going so far away from you. You have simply just seen the joy in every situation, and that has really helped them cope with this a lot better than if, you had completely broken down. I feel like they see you as a source of strength and a source of victory. Okay, I'm going to say something that I absolutely hate. It's a term that I absolutely hate, but it's coming through. You feel like trophy wife or trophy husband or trophy partner to this person. The reason I hate that term is because it's very diminishing of a person's individuality. But to them, it almost feels like they won the jackpot when they got you. But at the same time, with the headspace that they're in right now, they feel like they have to step away from this emotional, passionate energy and step into a more mental, logical type of energy, because they can't afford to get emotional about this, because it might it might cause them to break down and become defenseless. And they might change their mind, even if logically they know this was what had to happen. So their feelings towards you is they are so grateful for you in their life. They feel like you help them win at everything. You help them be successful. You are kind of their secret sauce that pushes them to be so good, to be so powerful, and so self what's the word I'm thinking of, to be that person who kind of, I can't think of the word, but the feeling I'm getting is like I'm finally recognizing my own worth because someone showed it to me, or someone paved the way for me to step up and see that I'm actually deserving of great things. That's kind of how they see what you've done for them. But on the flip side, that also makes them want to just drop everything and come back to you. And so they're having to embrace a more detached, cold mental energy just to be able to cope with this. So let's take a look at their future actions towards you. So these two cards are going to show us what they plan to do next. We have the Fool and the Sun. Oh, pile of 3. Okay, this person definitely wants a new beginning. And you see how both of these people, like with the Fool, she's looking across the ocean, and with the Sun, he's kind of on a boat crossing the ocean. I definitely feel like this person has gone overseas, but it feels like they're looking back, and maybe they're finding a way to bring you to them. Maybe it will involve a move, and they're looking forward to that. To bringing you there so you can stay with them. But these are both very, very optimistic cards. And what's interesting is the Fool is Aquarius, I believe, and the Sun is Leo. And Leo and Aquarius are directly opposed. They're sister signs. So it almost feels like you balance them out. You are truly... They truly see you as a counterpart. And they're definitely feeling optimistic, and they're definitely excited to start this new life with you. And maybe that's where they have to invest more in this mental energy of getting all the details right, of getting all the little, nooks and crannies straightened out. So you can be with them very, very quickly. But where they are right now is, it definitely feels a little lonely. And they are very, very, very much looking forward to being with you again, Pile 3. Because they never really wanted to leave you. I'm going to tell you that straight up. They did not want to leave. They kind of had to, for whatever purpose, but it almost feels like as it was something they had to do in order to build a stronger foundation for you. But best believe the second they get the opportunity, they're going to bring you right back to them, or they're going to come right back to you. It definitely feels more like they're going to move you to them, because they've done all this work. So let's get you some answers, pile number 3. Ask a question about, this connection or them, or whatever question comes to mind. Go ahead and think about it now. What's the answer? Oh, thank you. 5 of Coins. Yeah, they definitely feel left out in the cold and lonely, and just completely helpless. Well, not helpless necessarily physically. I feel like they're definitely someone who can take care of themselves with this king energy here. But it feels like emotionally they're in winter without you there. Pile 3. What's the answer to Pile 3's question about that person, please? What's the answer to Pile 3's question? Oh, thank you. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. Interesting. Maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is a way different message than I was expecting from this card. But I feel like to them, you are the person who gives them good advice. Maybe that's that Six of Wands energy where you give them solid advice that really helps them to make decisions that feel divinely guided. And whatever you say to them, whatever advice you give them, to them feels like divine intervention. And maybe they're feeling lost without it. And maybe that's why they're going to have to step into this King of Swords energy, where they have to figure all of it out by themselves, because you are not physically there to be that source for them. And maybe that's pushing them to do some inner work and growing of their own as well, which is interesting. So pile number 3, that is all the messages I have for you. I really hope it resonated and it brought you some clarity and support. And if this did resonate and if you did enjoy this reading, please remember to like and subscribe, comment below. Come check out my Instagram, link is in the description. I will get on doing more readings there, I promise. Life has just been a little crazy right now. But I do hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me and for letting me read for you. It has been a pleasure, and I really, really hope you get to see your person again very, very soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Check out another reading in the outro coming up next, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!